The View hosts have got themselves into hot water again after they did the very thing they purport to be against.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
Karoline Leavitt only secured her position because of her good looks.
Buckle up, because things at The View have just exploded. Imagine a daytime talk show, known for its fiery debates, suddenly finding itself engulfed in a scandal of its own making. This isn't just another heated argument, this is a full-blown crisis. A bombshell lawsuit has landed right at the feet of ABC, and it's all thanks to comments made by none other than Joy Behar. We're talking legal chaos, network panic, and a show teetering on the brink. How did it get this bad? It all started with a seemingly offhand remark, but the fallout has been anything but casual. Get ready, because the inside story of The View's latest meltdown is about to be revealed, and it's more shocking than you might think.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
The comment was bizarre, especially coming from Joy Behar, who is as woke as they come and positions herself as a champion of feminism. This online commentator said, disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Karoline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10.
The drama ignited when Karoline Leavitt, a rising star in conservative politics, became the target of The View's notoriously sharp tongues. During what was supposed to be a debate, Joy Behar didn't hold back. In comments that have now sparked a firestorm, Behar suggested Leavitt's career success was solely due to her looks. She implied that Donald Trump, and we quote, saw her as a 10, and that was the real reason she landed her position. Imagine the audacity. To reduce a woman's hard work and political acumen to nothing more than her physical appearance. The reaction was immediate and brutal. Viewers erupted in outrage, slamming Behar and The View for blatant sexism and staggering hypocrisy. After all, this is the show that constantly champions women's empowerment, right? The irony was lost on absolutely no one. The backlash spread like wildfire, with political analysts and legal experts joining the chorus of condemnation. It was clear, Behar had crossed a line, and the consequences were only just beginning to unfold. But Karoline Leavitt is not one to back down. Known for her sharp intellect and take-no-prisoners attitude, she didn't just issue a statement, she went nuclear. Instead of letting Behar's comments slide, Leavitt unleashed a powerful counterattack. A lawsuit. Yes, you heard that right, legal action. This wasn't just about words anymore. This was a serious legal challenge directly aimed at The View and ABC. Leavitt's move sent a clear message. She wouldn't tolerate these kinds of attacks, and she was prepared to fight back with every weapon at her disposal. By choosing legal action, Leavitt masterfully turned the tables, exposing what she saw as the rank hypocrisy of The View's so-called feminist stance. She wasn't just defending herself, she was making a statement about the broader issue of media bias and the way conservative women are often unfairly targeted and discredited. This lawsuit instantly transformed the scandal from a PR nightmare into a potentially crippling legal battle for ABC.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Behind the scenes at ABC, panic set in. Executives suddenly found themselves in full-blown crisis mode. Urgent, high-level meetings were convened as the gravity of the situation became terrifyingly clear. Sponsors, the lifeblood of any network show, started getting cold feet. Advertisers began to seriously reconsider their association with The View, fearing the reputational damage of being linked to such a divisive and controversial program. The lawsuit wasn't just about Joy Behar's words, it was exposing a deeper problem. The View's history of inflammatory remarks and ABC's tolerance of them. While The View had weathered storms before, this felt different. This wasn't just a political disagreement, it was a legitimate defamation claim with serious legal and financial implications. ABC was scrambling for solutions, desperately trying to contain the damage before it spiraled completely out of control. Insiders whispered of executives working around the clock, desperately trying to find a way out of this escalating disaster.
Yeah, I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Mm-hmm. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
This commentator said, Whoopi is mansplaining the press secretary job to Karoline Leavitt. Hilarious.
Meanwhile, the internet exploded. Clips of Leavitt's powerful and poised responses to The View went viral across social media platforms. People from all corners of the political spectrum, even those who disagreed with Leavitt's conservative politics, united in condemning Behar's comments as unfair and unprofessional. The hashtag #FireJoyBehar began trending, with calls for her resignation growing louder by the hour. Many pointed out the glaring hypocrisy of The View, highlighting its long and documented history of attacking conservative women. They argued that the show had repeatedly resorted to personal insults and character assassinations instead of engaging in actual substantive debate. The public sentiment was clear. Behar had gone too far, and The View's credibility as a platform for balanced discussion was hanging by a thread. Even viewers who typically tuned in for the drama were starting to question whether the show had become more about personal attacks than actual political commentary. Karoline Leavitt's response wasn't just about defending herself, it was a masterclass in political strategy. She seized the opportunity to expose what she argued was a deep-seated media bias against right-leaning women. Leavitt pointed to a pattern, citing examples like Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Kayleigh McEnany, arguing that The View and other left-leaning networks consistently employ the same playbook: discredit and diminish strong, articulate conservative women. According to Leavitt, the tactic is always the same: ignore their qualifications, attack their character, and reduce their accomplishments to something trivial like their appearance. By framing the situation this way, Leavitt not only deflected the personal attack, but also elevated herself on the national stage. She solidified her image as a rising star in conservative politics, someone willing to stand up to media giants and fight back against perceived bias. In a way, Behar's attack had inadvertently boosted Leavitt's profile, turning a negative situation into a powerful platform.
Oh, please, his opponents are saying to this very day the same rhetoric that led to those two attempts. The second attempted on President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie, and yes, you will take political like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day. And I'm so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it. And that's why today President Trump is more popular than he has been since 2016, because people don't trust the media.
Legal experts chimed in, and their analysis painted a grim picture for ABC. They agreed that Karoline Leavitt had a surprisingly strong case for defamation. Behar's remarks weren't just offensive. They directly questioned Leavitt's professional qualifications in a way that could demonstrably harm her career prospects. If the lawsuit moved forward, ABC faced a range of potentially damaging outcomes. They could be forced to issue a humiliating public apology, something that would further erode their credibility with certain viewers. A significant financial settlement was also on the table, potentially costing the network millions. And perhaps most dramatically, ABC might be compelled to make structural changes to The View itself, potentially including personnel changes, to demonstrate they were taking the issue seriously and preventing similar incidents in the future. The legal experts' consensus was clear: ABC was in serious trouble, and the lawsuit posed a very real threat to the network and its flagship daytime talk show. Conservative media outlets were quick to seize on the controversy, amplifying the narrative of mainstream media bias. They presented the incident as further proof of a double standard, arguing that conservative voices are unfairly targeted and attacked, while liberal commentators often escape scrutiny for similar remarks. Prominent conservative figures rallied behind Leavitt, praising her for standing her ground and challenging what they described as media bullying. The scandal also reignited a broader debate about the role of daytime talk shows in shaping political discourse. Critics questioned whether shows like The View, which are ostensibly designed for entertainment, should continue to operate as platforms for what many see as unchecked partisan attacks. The incident raised uncomfortable questions about media responsibility, fairness, and the potential for daytime television to further polarize an already divided political landscape. Could this lawsuit be a turning point, forcing networks to reevaluate the boundaries of acceptable political commentary in daytime TV? As the situation spiraled, reports emerged that ABC executives had reached out to Leavitt's legal team, desperately hoping to negotiate a settlement and avoid a protracted and damaging legal battle. While no official statement had been released, insiders speculated that ABC was in full damage control mode, willing to do almost anything to make this lawsuit go away quietly. The network was already grappling with declining viewership across many of its programs and internal conflicts within The View itself. This lawsuit was just another massive headache they simply couldn't afford. The future of The View hangs in the balance. Advertisers are pulling out, legal battles are looming, and public trust is eroding. Some industry experts predict a major shakeup, with co-hosts potentially being forced out in a desperate attempt to salvage the show's image. Others believe the damage is irreparable, and that The View, as we know it, may not be able to recover from this self-inflicted wound. So what do you think? Did Joy Behar cross a line with her comments about Karoline Leavitt? Or is this just another example of political disagreements being blown out of proportion? Is The View in serious trouble? And what should ABC do to fix this mess? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This lawsuit has exposed a lot about The View, about media bias, and about the way women in politics are treated. It's a story that's still unfolding, and we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way.